Hi everyone, this is Austin with Coastal Nissan Parts. Today I'm going to be showing you how to check your tires and suspension. Here we have a 2016 Nissan Frontier, which we'll be using as an example. It's really important that you want to be checking your tires and suspension before those cold winter months as things start icing, so that way you can make sure that your vehicle is ready for the winter. Here we have a perfect example of a tire that needs to be replaced. As you can see, it's being excessively worn on the outside. Where the inside there is still good tread, the tread's down to the wear bars. This over here definitely is beyond what you'd want to let it get to. Preferably you want to replace it when it's around here or a few millimeters even before that. In the winter, there's going to be a lot of slippage, which you want to avoid just to be super safe. All right, so a good way to check, if you're at home, most people have some change lying around. What you want to do is you want to grab a penny and stick it in the tread. Make sure it's not sitting on top of a wear bar so you're getting an accurate reading. And you want the tread to be either at or above Lincoln's head on the penny. So on the rear tire of this vehicle, you can see it's worn very evenly. This is an example of a good tire, a good wear pattern. So some components that are prone to wear would be your lower control arm here, which is connected with two bushings and often a ball joint on the bottom here. You'd also want to be looking at your sway bar end links, making sure that they're not broken or disconnected or having any kind of excessive play. You also have another connection here with your tie rod that you want to make sure that the boot is not torn or nothing's leaking from that. And then you have your quick strut or your shock component. You want to make sure that's not excessively rusted or broken or leaking in any way. All of that is tied into the knuckle, which holds in the bearing and the wheel. And then if you come around up top, at the very top you have your upper control arm that has another ball joint that you want to inspect for any kind of tear or leaking as well. So obviously this vehicle is on a lift. If you would be doing this in the driveway, you would want to be jacking it up at one of the jacking points or on the frame rail for this vehicle. And once the tire is off the ground, you just want to give it a good shake, left and right, make sure that's nice and tight. And then you also want to do it front to back or up and down to make sure that there's no play in the ball joints or the tie rod or the upper control arm. Next thing you want to look for is worn or broken springs, any leaking fluid, anything like that, worn bushings. You want to make sure that none of your boots are torn, everything is intact, and there's no excessive rust or buildup on any of the suspension parts. While you have the tires off, it's good to check the sidewall for any gashes or bubbles and make sure that there's no damage. That way you're not at risk of having any kind of blowout along the road as you're driving. And another good thing to do is while the tires are off is to perform a tire rotation. And what you'd want to do is bring your right front to the left rear, vice versa with the left front, and both rear tires forwards. So this vehicle actually has some signs that it would need some work. There is a little bit of rust on some of the bushings here, especially on this control arm. With the tire being in the condition that it's in after the tires get replaced, it is strongly recommended that an alignment is performed as well. Once you've checked the suspension components on all four wheels and you've checked all four of your tires, you should be ready to drive for the winter. Thank you guys for watching.
Coastal Nissan, better pricing, better service, surprisingly simple.